Welcome to Chantex Multimedia special presentation, and today we are going to be talking about Cyclone Yasa, which is hitting Fiji. Tropical Cyclone Yasa center now at the edge of Vanua Levu. The Nadi Weather Bureau has said that the center of the severe Tropical Cyclone Yasa is now at the edge of Vanua Levu, and the whole Category 5 cyclone is expected to cross Northern Division in 3 hours. Acting Director Terry Atalifo says that the center of Tropical Cyclone Yasa will also make landfall over the province of Bua. Atalifo says that over Nassau and the exit of Sawani and Vanua Levu in 3-hour period. He says that very destructive winds are expected from Bua to Sabu Sabu, in Vanua Levu, Reki Reki, Tai Levu and Viti Levu, and the Lomai Viti group from now onwards. And then the cyclone moves down further to Suva, to Nasuri areas, and will start getting destructive winds. And as we talk, we know that in other areas, especially Reki Reki area, has been completely flooded, and all this is happening right there. We will take a very quick look at the waters that have taken, have erosion in Reki Reki area. So this is the approach, just getting on to Reki Reki, and as you can see, it's pretty severe, the flood there. And we'll keep bringing you live updates of what's happening there, but right now we will have to go, and I'd like to bring to you the news from Fiji. And first of all, we get a message from the Prime Minister, Bainimarama.
Bulawinaka, everyone. Preparations for severe cyclone Yasa's arrival are in full swing across the country. After intensifying through yesterday, Yasa is a Category 5 storm that could easily surpass the record-breaking strength of Cyclone Winston. The impact forecast for this latest superstorm is more or less the entire country. Over 850,000 Fijians are in the direct path of the cyclone, more than 95% of our population. Everywhere in Fiji, we can expect the rains will get worse. The winds will become more destructive. In low-lying areas, we anticipate flash flooding and severe coastal inundation, including waves up to 10 meters in height. If you have not done so already, secure your homes, board up the windows, ensure you have emergency kits ready, as well as enough food and water stocked to last several days. All those in low-lying areas should move to higher ground. And if you feel you are fully prepared, lend help to a neighbor who may not be. We will be instituting the nationwide curfew from 4 p.m. today until 6 a.m. tomorrow, until further notice. Unless you are evacuating, that means stay off the roads and stay safely sheltered. As you know, as the world is getting warmer, these storms are getting stronger. Every one of us must treat these climate-fueled catastrophes with deadly seriousness. Where flooding occurs, do not enter the floodwaters. Keep your children out of harm's way. Keep a close eye on the elderly. Do not go out on boats. Do not travel unless absolutely necessary or if have been directed to evacuate by authorities. All of our COVID-19 border quarantine facilities have hygienic evacuation plans in place if necessary. Please keep abreast of weather updates and adhere closely to the advice of authorities. All those in the path of the storm, rest assured, we will reach you. Our battle-tested disaster officials are ready to come to the aid of affected communities. Stay safe, Fiji.
And there's a message there from the Prime Minister, Bainimarama. And of course, as he has mentioned, that it is very important that everyone stay safe, and that curfew that has been put on. The curfew gives special powers to the police and to the army. So if you are out and about without a valid reason, you will be arrested. And of course, under that curfew and under the special powers, they can come in and search your property without any warrant or anything, because with that curfew warning, you can, the special powers of the military and of course the police force comes into play, and they can come and ask for your vehicle or anything. If there's a need for it, they can come and ask you for that. So close to its center, the cyclone is expected to have very destructive winds up to 240 kilometers per hour with momentary gusts of 345 kilometers per hour. Now that's why the Prime Minister just mentioned that a superstorm. Hurricane warning remains in force for Yasawa Group, northern and eastern half of Biti Levu from Tavua to Reki Reki to Korovau, through to Suva to Navua, Vanua Levu, and nearly smaller islands including Yaduwa, Galoa, Kia and Mali. Taviuni and nearby islands Matuku, Maloa, Totoya and Lomai Viti Group. A strong warning remains in force for Maduwata Group and the rest of Biti Levu, the Kobia and the rest of Lau Group. A gale warning remains in force for Rotuma, Kandavu and nearby smaller islands. A storm surge and damaging heavy swell warning remains in force for coastal waters of Rotuma, Yasawa, Mamanuda, Vanua Levu, Biti Levu and nearby smaller islands. Taviuni and nearby smaller islands Lomai Viti and Lau Group. A heavy rain warning remains in force for whole of Fiji. Severe flood warning is in force for low-lying areas and areas adjacent and downstream of Reki Reki town. A flash flood warning remains in force for the low-lying areas and areas adjacent to small streams of Viti Levu and Vanua Levu, areas adjacent to the Reketi Lai Lai and Dawa River, also low-lying areas and adjacent to Bagata River in Sabu Sabu. Flash flood alert remains in force for low-lying areas and areas adjacent to the major rivers for Viti Levu and Vanua Levu. And as of tomorrow morning, the center of Yasa is expected to be about 165 kilometers east of Suva. Destructive winds are expected this afternoon, tonight, and into tomorrow, with cyclone centers, reaching the overhead or nearby. I tried to connect with someone in Fiji, but we got cut off halfway through because I just wanted to speak to someone and see how things are there as progressing. As we now, we've been getting a lot of news from Fiji One, Fiji Life, and other channels. Well, at this moment we can, so that's why I thought I will bring this update to you while we can. As we now, with the severity of the storm, the power might not be, the power cuts might be there, and of course the telecommunication might get cut off as well, as is the case normally when it happens. Well, right now the cyclone Yasa is located about 140 kilometers south. So this is Lambasa, and before we just saw Reki Reki, and Reki Reki, as I mentioned before, is completely flooded. And right now we'll hear from the Director of National Disaster Management Organization, and this was as of yesterday, but this is the warning that's been issued out in Fiji.
This morning, The NDMO, together with Director Nat, has advised the Honourable Prime Minister and members of the Cabinet, together with the Emergency Committee, about the incoming cyclone that we are anticipating. With the current project of Tropical Cyclone Yasa that was advised by Fiji Met this morning, the message to the public is please prepare. We've seen that a lot of queries have been going around on social media in regards to the path, as well as the different sources. We ask the general public to please refer to Met Office website as well as media releases to give you more confidence in regards to the need for you to move. Also, in addition to that, for health, we've organized facilities to be prepared. Ministry of Health is currently working with the NDMO officials as well as across ministries to organize command centers to be active. As of this morning, upon the concurrence of the Permanent Secretary for NDMO, the National Emergency Operations Center is now active. In addition to that, the Divisional Emergency Operations Center is also now active, and the District Emergency Operations Center is also now active. For education, as per advised by the Permanent Secretary for Education, all schools as well as exams will cease from today. So from tomorrow there will be no more school, including studies, or all exams will be pushed to a later date as we anticipate the arrival of TC Yasa. For civil service, it is at the discretion of the permanent secretaries to send their officers home to prepare for the cyclone. In addition to that, the message that the Honourable Prime Minister had alluded yesterday in regards to preparation, we cannot reiterate that more and re-emphasize the need for people to please tie down your homes, stock up on dry food, stock up on fresh water, and ensure the safetyness of your children. Do not try and cross any flooded river or any flooded walkway, and minimize movement, minimize movement as the weather starts to change. As you can see, and again, as advised by Director Met, as of midday today, weather will start changing. We can all see that that is now happening. So we ask the general public, more rain will come. More rain will come. And if you need to move to an evacuation center, we are pleading that you move before it gets dark. The evacuation center for the Northern Division as well as the Western Division, all evacuation center for Northern and Western is now open. For Central and Eastern, for the Central Division, majority of it is open. We're just waiting for 2 more confirmation to come in to confirm that evacuation center are now open. The government is taking proactive measures to open the evacuation center for our residents, for the public to move. If you know that your house cannot withstand any strong winds, let alone a Cat 5 cyclone that is on our way, please take yourself and your children and your valuable asset to the evacuation center. The Fiji military forces as well as the RFMF are on standby to assist citizens if needed to move to these evacuation centers. That was what we had briefed the Honourable Prime Minister as well as members of Cabinet.
So that's an update from there. Where right now I've got online Irene. Irene, welcome.
Oh, thank you, Umesh. Yes, I've just got off the phone from the village, Sambeto. They say there's no power. I've been trying to get in touch with them all day. I managed to get messenger phone link through. Very, very strong winds, a bit of flooding down on the lowland at the moment, but they're expecting more to come in. No power as per usual, which probably will follow with no water, but everyone's sort of hunkered down and preparing for it. And 4 o'clock, they're not allowed to go out anyway. They have to stay home. So, yeah, so it was pretty distressing to hear that another hurricane has come and hit the village again, but at least they're not as bad off as those people up in Bua and Lambasa.
Yes, and so it hit Bua area very early in the morning, didn't it?
5 p.m. this afternoon. It
All
was
right.
scheduled to arrive there at about 8 tonight, but it's already hit Bua, and yeah. So, and as you said, Raki, there's they're closed off because you can't get through the bridge. It's flooded on both ends. So, yeah, no, but it hit early.
Right, it did hit, and of course, so what's the news on the western side?
Yeah. Oh, well, the news on the western side is that they've just got really, really strong winds, and they can't go out to sea anymore. We won't know until the morning how much damage has happened, but a lot of people have already gone into their evacuation centres, the community hall, just to stay calm with one another. I think it's mainly peace of mind that they coming together just to keep each other's spirits up. But we won't really know until the morning if the extent of any damage through the winds. But it's going to be the whole country, not just there.
No, exactly, because with the 240 kilometers per hour, that is a very strong winds, and of course then momentary gust of about 345. That is very strong. So as the Prime Minister said, that compared to Winston, it is going to be much more stronger.
Well, it's going to be worse for the simple reason that it's travelling slower. So it's at the moment it's travelling at about 18 kilometres per hour southeast. So it's Winston came through with a bit of a fury. It was there and it was gone.
Correct,
in
yes.
a lot quicker time. But this one is taking its time. So yeah, so I feel for those people there. I'm just about to call my other friend who's got a place up in Sabu to see how she's fared there. She's trying to get in touch with her family. So I'll let you know what happens once I've been in touch with them as well.
Okay, Irene, thank you very much for that update, and we'll keep in touch as well. I was trying to see if I could get probably our honorary council on the show tomorrow and see if we can get some more updates. And if anyone has any update, please keep passing on, and we will keep everyone else informed from here. So I think, Irene, wishing you and your family and everyone in Fiji, I hope that they all stay safe.
Yes, well, normally I would be there, but because of COVID, I couldn't go this year, so, yeah.
Okay,
so
just as well you are here. Being away, you can probably provide more help while you are here.
Yes, yep. Okay, thanks, Umesh.
Thank you very much, Irene.
Bye.
So, ladies and gentlemen, that was Irene. Of course, he is from Radio 4EB, and she is from Fiji. So she is, trying to get in touch with some more people in Fiji and find out about what's happening. As I said, I was trying to get through, and I just could not get through. So that's the intensity of the cyclone there. So, ladies and gentlemen, this has been a special report on Tropical Cyclone Yasa, which is a very, very strong cyclone which is hitting Fiji right now as we speak. So we will bring to you updates, as they come to hand. In the meantime, please, if you have friends and family there, be in touch. And of course, as the Prime Minister of Fiji said, that please remain safe. Make sure that you secure your place. And if you think you are done, you don't have anything to do, go help your neighbor who might not be ready. So that was a very good message there. So this has been a special presentation of Australian Indian Radio on Tropical Cyclone Yasa, which is a very severe storm hitting Fiji right now. Until tomorrow, it's goodbye from me.